What is good, y'all? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. It's your boy Malaka Drive Hoops. Today's video is going to be on Reed Sheppard. We're continuing in the Summer League review series. Last video was on Donovan Clingan. Today's going to be on Reed Sheppard. We'll get to some more lower key guys in the future, but Reed Sheppard just had a monster Summer League, and I felt like we had to talk about it. Finished in 4 games, averaging 20 a game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, nearly 3 steals a game, a block a game, 57% true shooting. Was one of 2 rookies on the Summer League first team. And really, he just balled out. So I'm excited to break down some of the plays, some of the stuff he did and put on tape. And again, having a reaction to seeing a guy in an NBA setting with NBA players, with NBA rules, does not necessarily mean you're overreacting, right? I love that we get a little flavor and taste of someone's game before they get into true NBA games. But without further ado, guys, let's get it. All right, so we're going to start with the three-point shooting. And Reed Sheppard didn't shoot the 3-ball all that well in Summer League, but I just got zero concerns. I mean, this dude shot 52% from 3 as a freshman at a big-time school. Obviously, that is not sustainable in the pros, but I know the dude can shoot the ball, and a small sample is not going to sway me from that. On top of that, a lot of the threes are more on-ball threes in Summer League, more difficult shots. Early on in his career, he's going to be a spot-up, off-the-catch three-point shooter. I know he could do that at a high level, but it's cool to get a peek into some of the on-ball stuff as well. All right, so this play obviously stood out. We'll pause it here. This is when Reed is going to release this shot, and brother, this is like a 36-footer. That is a ridiculously deep shot, and for shooters, there's usually an adjustment because the college line is almost 2 feet shorter than the NBA line. Right away, we know Reed has NBA range. This one was really nice, too. Going to walk it up, lefty in and out. Rescreen, step into it, pull it, cash. Again, probably going to be more of an off-ball guy early on in his career, but you see the flashes. He is going to eventually, off the dribble, create his own shot. It's going to be fun. Now, where things really got interesting was the mid-range, because Reed absolutely dominated the mid-range in Summer League. And I don't watch a ton of college basketball. I looked it up. He shot well in the mid-range in college, but still more than half of his shots, jump shots, were three-pointers in college. And so to see him with this on-ball prowess of getting to his spots like he's CP in the mid-range, and it wasn't just like on-ball, but it coming off pins and reading the defense and scoring, getting downhill, and the big's rooted to the spot. Let me just hit my little floater over the top. It was super impressive and really important for me to see because at 6'3", he's a little undersized. Like, he's a good athlete, but he's not physically imposing. And I think that's why he probably wasn't the number 1 pick. But, like, when guys run you off the line and force you towards the rim, are you able to get to your spots? Are you able to use and leverage your touch in ways to mitigate the length and size that you're going to see in the NBA? And to me, Reed answered that question with a resounding yes. He's probably always going to be a little undersized, but the touch, the feel, the skill, it's going to make up for all that and then some. But I still want to get into some of these in a little bit more detail, so let's get into it. All right, I know y'all seen this one, but I love how he gets the Dalton matchup, and he's like, come here, shot clock running down. I like this. Bring me him. Crossover, stop on a dime, crossover, step back, get downhill off the head fake. That is so tough. And I just love how you get a little bit of everything Reed provides in this one clip. You get the ball handling. You get the threat of the three-point shot opening a downhill opportunity for him. You get the touch. And again, Kentucky, he wasn't on the ball as much. And so it was really cool to see, hey, Reed, go be on the ball and show us what you can do. And he just did not disappoint. All right, we're on to the next. Another on-ball opportunity. He's going to get the switch, and he's going to go right at it. Kaishawn George is the on-ball defender. He's blowing past him. But the other defender right here, I don't know who that is, but he's in the gap, and he's going to eventually stab at the ball. If you're a weaker ball handler, that stab at the ball is going to cause you to lose it. But watch what Reed does. Pushes it ahead out in front of him, and then this is where we talk about the touch. Look at Alex Sarr, bro. Look how high, I know it's kind of shitty quality, but look how high he gets up and how Reed has to float that over the top. We'll run it back one more time. But this is so tough, and he makes it look easy. Split, Big's waiting for me. I'm floating it just out of his reach. Reed Sheppard, everybody. I also love the pace that Reed plays at, and this may be boring to some, but I'm an absolute sicko, so I'm going to talk about it. So take this play, for example. Rob Dillingham's guarding him on ball at half court. And NBA point guards are so proficient at this, so you don't even really notice, but it takes a lot of work to be able to set up the on-ball defender in a way in that which he can get picked and your big man doesn't get a moving screen. So as he's getting dogged on ball, watch how he sets this up. Crossover, and then that slight hang hesitation allows his big to get his shoulder square and completely pick off Rob Dillingham. And we didn't even talk about the hezi at the top of the key to freeze the big. Now he gets downhill, pulls up at his spot. But you may ask yourself, like, how did Reed find himself so open in the mid-range so many times? It's because of his pace, and it's a huge part of his game. Now, the rest of these clips I'm going to roll are just to showcase the pure shot-making ability of Reed Sheppard. Right here, Bub Carrington inside of him. Doesn't matter. Shoots it right over the top. Here he's going to catch it off the pass from his big, get downhill, leaning left, big in his face, shoots it right over the top. And so we've seen a lot of like, all right, I have pace, I get to my spot, it's open. But he can just get you a tough bucket as well, right there off a pin down. So we've seen on ball, we've seen off a pin down, we've seen off a scramble situation where a big sends it to him. Right here, rejects the screen, pull up, his hand gets hit, does not even touch the rim. Right here, uses the screen, tries to snake it. Defender actually does a pretty good job getting back into the picture. And what does he do? Yanks him right off with a left to right cross and buries the tough midi. Alex Sarr switched onto him. Shoots it right over the top. And so y'all can see, this dude is just a ridiculous shooter. However you want to slice it. Now, I got this graphic. I take no credit for this. This is from @RedQTA. I hope I'm saying that right on Twitter. And I believe he pulled these stats from Synergy and Bartovrik. And these are his college stats. So this is not from Summer League. But you see all the different type of shots. Regular three-point shots, catch and shoots, guarded, unguarded, off the dribble, spot up, off screens, free throws, at the rim. Everything is green. Everything is green. This guy is an elite shooter with elite touch that you just can't teach. And then he's got very high IQ, which we'll get into in a sec. But I just wanted to, I think it's cool to see these stats all just put out in front of you. Shout out @RedQTA. Great graphic. Now, there wasn't a ton of finishing film in the Summer League, at least like at the rim, legit layup finishing film. But for everything we talked about before, Reed Sheppard, I think, is going to be a pretty good finisher just because the touch is unbelievable. And because he's such a good shooter, it's going to open up windows and driving angles and opportunities for him to attack just because teams are so worried about selling out for him on the shot. And then we'll go into one play in detail. He's going to get a ball screen here, turn the corner, and watch this little freeze dribble back out. Kind of puts the big on his heels a little bit. And then as he goes to finish, he doesn't go straight line drive. He angles off a little bit. It's super subtle, but angles off a little bit into the body to make it tougher to block the shot. High off the glass. Again, that's Reed Sheppard, man. All right, let's get to the next aspect of his game, which is the playmaking/passing. This stood out as well. And he averaged 4.5 assists at Kentucky, but again, keep in mind, was not this high usage on-ball guard all the time. Averaged 5 in Summer League, and his feel for the game really stood out. And it's not always about making sexy passes. Like right here, beats his guy downhill concisely, draws the defender, immediately kicks to the corner. Here, grabs the rebound, pushes in transition, realizes, hey, I don't love what I got. Let me just give it to Cam Whitmore with a runway. And he made plenty of sexy passes too, which we'll get to. But to me, when you get to Summer League, not everyone has high feel. A lot of these guys are young and relying on their tools. But this really completes the whole package for Reed Sheppard because he combines the skill and the touch with really high-level IQ and passing ability. So let's get into some of these in more detail. All right, so Reed just sees the floor really well, and it shows up a lot in transition. Here he's going to catch this outlet. We'll stop it in a sec just so you could see tight window here. I mean, it's not like the tightest of windows, but still, he has to get it out of the reach of the defender while also leading his man perfectly. He does. Here, the ball's not even in his hands for a half a second, and it's back out on a rope over the top of the defense to get his teammate an open look at the rim. Like, this is early in the game. He could easily be thinking, let me dribble up, get us into some offense, but he's processing everything in real time so quickly that he realizes, right away, I've got an opportunity to get my guy the ball. Let me do that. Here's another one, mixing it up on the glass. Actually a pretty tough hop off the rim, but he comes up with it, looks up, gets it over the top of Bub Carrington, who is pretty tall, but also to the point where Cam Whitmore can run right under it in stride for the dunk. He also did a great job of just spraying out to shooters. Concise move to get downhill here, beats Sar, kicks it out to AJ Griffin. Again, they're not always the sexiest plays, but he just makes good winning basketball plays. Right here, draws the whole defense on a rope to AJ Griffin in the corner for the three. And here's where we'll get into some of the processing. He's going to come off this ball screen, and he ends up not liking what he has. He's going to pick up his dribble. At this point, a lot of guards are now going to pivot. They're going to look, try and find someone. Everyone's going to be covered. But watch how immediately, and he's not looking at AJ Griffin in the weak side corner. He's looking this way. Immediately, as soon as he picks up his dribble, the ball's on a rope to AJ Griffin in the corner. That's elite processing, and that's knowing where your teammates are. And that's the biggest difference with high IQ, high field players. They are not reacting now to someone who is open. They are proactive in knowing who already is going to be open, and they make their reads quick. Here's another one. Pick and roll. Going to pick up his dribble here. This defender is sagged into the middle of the key off of his man in case he needs the help on the roller. I don't know how Reed Sheppard knows this, but as soon as he picks up his dribble, boom, ball's on a rope to his shooter. And can you see, even with that, that's what the margins are like in the NBA. Even with that quick recognition, which was basically immediate, it's still a pretty good closeout and contest from the defender. And that's why high IQ, high field players are so important, because they generate good looks for their teammates. Here's him generating another good look for his teammate. Comes to a jump stop, up fake. Look at both Wolves defenders fly on that. You're already seeing the gravity that he had in Summer League. And those two components go together like peanut butter and jelly, because the more you score and the more threat you are to score, the better passing angles and windows you have, and vice versa. And they go together and complement each other perfectly. Here's another nice play. He's actually going to miss this three-pointer short. Teammate gets the rebound, immediately hits him. Realizes, all right, let me get downhill. I'm going to pause it here. Again, this is just the IQ. I want you to notice that right before he gets in the paint, he's going to look up subtly, and as soon as he does that, Bub's up in the air, and as soon as he does that, it's a drop-off. Also had great chemistry with Cam Whitmore, as you could probably tell from plenty of the highlights before, but I threw in a couple more here. That's a crazy lob attempt, but throws it over the top perfectly. Cam catches it, goes up with it. And that's something that I think is cool too, is obviously UK is a great program, but he's just playing with better basketball players in the NBA, and that's only going to help his playmaking as well. That's just a nasty lob. All right, the last thing we got to talk about is the defense. And it's going to be tough for Reed Sheppard to be like this crazy on-ball defender, but what he is a really, really smart off-ball defender, and he has really good hands. So even when he's beat, he's able to make plays, and we talk about it just as event creation. He averaged 2.5 steals in Kentucky, which is crazy, averaged 2.7 steals in Summer League. So you just saw time and time again, yeah, he's limited physically, but he's going to use his IQ to find ways to impact the game and create turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. All right, now a couple plays stand out, and we're going to talk our way through it. So here we go, right? Reed Sheppard, he's on the ball, and this is where we talk about on ball is probably not his biggest strength because he's just smaller than most guys. This is Julian Champagnie, 6'7", and at this point, Reed's effectively beat because he's this deep, and he's just way bigger. But what does Reed do? He uses his hands, cleanly gets the ball. And that's what we're talking about earlier, where Reed may get beat here and there, but he's never out of a play because of his hands. Honestly, he didn't even do that bad of a job there. It was mostly because Champagnie's just big, but like here, he's clearly beat, right? The guard is in front of him. Look what he does. Swipe. I don't actually know if it went off of his knee, but the ref called it off of his knee. And there's another example. I'm beat, but I got quick hands. I get all ball. We're going the other way. This one's not his fault, but you got Rob Dillingham, his former teammate, running at you in transition. Boop, give me that. Keeps it in bounds as well. There's the IQ again. Now we're running the other way. I'll just leave the full clip in here. But you guys see, he goes from being in a compromised situation to getting out of it just because of his quick hands. There's the touch on the other end, as we've seen many times. He's just a really smart team defender. So in this clip right here, he's originally guarding Maxwell Lewis. I don't know if you could tell right there, but Maxwell Lewis runs to the top of the key, and Reed Sheppard realizes at this moment, Okay, it doesn't matter that I was guarding him. There's someone cutting in behind my team needs me. So now he's essentially guarding two guys bigger than him, forces one of them to give it up, and then turns around and uses those same quick hands to block the 7-footer. That might not get put in a highlight reel, but that is ridiculous. All right, last one, and same idea here. So Colin Castleton's going to post up AJ Griffin, and Reed's right down here, kind of like, okay, if they need my help, I'm going to be in position that I can come down and help, but I can also get back out to the shooter. Connect cuts back door. Reed's like, oh, bet, perfect. I'm in good position. Comes over and swipes it away. That's a layup for Dalton Connect. If Reed Sheppard's not locked in, but he was, and he is. And that'll do it, guys. I appreciate you tuning in to another video. It really, really does mean the world. If you got to this point, a like on the video and subbing to the channel really does go a long way as we continue on this grind of trying to grow this channel. I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a better appreciation for Reed Sheppard and his game. High-level processor of the game on both sides of the floor. Elite touch that you just can't teach. And I just think he's too good to not play minutes for this team. I don't know that he's going to play 30 minutes a night. He probably won't. But I think he's too good, even on a loaded Rockets team, to keep off the floor for stretches at a time. Again, I love and appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys next video.